Beep, 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 beep. All that's new and approved from the Jester news bum of gravy. Okay, I've got a couple of things for you this morning. One's a quick one, but it amused me, so I thought it might amuse you. Right, okay. So, first off, I want to talk about legal peoples, persons of legal standing, right? Okay, so to begin with today, buy me a coffee, subscribe, usual stuff. Get this out there, right? Okay. There's an article that I've come across, less an article, more a result of a barrister who got himself in trouble. Right. It was a disciplinary hearing, and the decision came out this November. Professional misconduct contrary to Core Duty 5 of the Code of Conduct of the Bar of England and Wales. Right. Thomas Davidson, a practising barrister, behaved in a way which was likely to diminish the trust and confidence which the public places in him or in the profession. In that, on the 7th of February 2022 at Salisbury Magistrates Court, following the conclusion of a trial during which he had represented a defendant before the bench consisting of 3 lay magistrates, and after the chairperson raised with him the issue of his having used a German accent during the proceedings and telling him that his conduct had been inappropriate, Mr. Davidson looked at the bench and said, "Jawohl," at the same time as raising his hand in a Nazi salute. Jawohl, mein Herr. Brilliant! He got a reprimand and a 250 quid fine. However, it was worth it, mate. Isn't it extraordinary that the Bar Standards Board has a problem with that, but they don't have a problem with lawyers lying about who the person is that they're representing and calling a he, she. Weird, isn't it? See, because the Bar Standards Board are captured. Scary stuff, folks. Scary stuff. Right, so let's move on to the main event, which is the news from the Baroness Faulkner, who's just, has just really done very, very well indeed in countering the fake allegations against her and false claims being made by the woke nutters in the EHRC, okay, Equality and Human Rights Commission. But now we've got Stonewall, right, going up against them again. So Britain faces UN blacklist after lobbying by trans rights group activists. Now the United Nations has said, we're going to have a look at you and see, you may be blacklisted, right? The UN's completely unfit for purpose. Most people don't even know where the UN came from. Right, they don't. But they are now just completely unfit for purpose. Leave them. So let them blacklist us. So what? Lead the way. Britain should lead the charge. After all, it has most of the time when it comes to getting to the future and being progressive. So, right, UN, no longer fit for purpose because all organisations tilt to corruption. We're now going to start something new. If you want to join, we're putting it together. Come and join with us. Just a few things so that you know. Anti-racism is racism. You got that one? All right, okay. Extreme environmentalism is the same as the thinking process as anti-racism. And the LGBTQ plus people are terrorist nutters. So we're going to put that on the table. Come and join Britain as we lead the world forward in reality. But we could be blacklisted, apparently. We need to learn to care less about these things, don't we? The UK's Equality and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, is facing a special review of its international accreditation after lobbying by trans rights groups led by Stonewall. They're upset because we want sex to be clarified as meaning sex. Right? They're upset about that, Stonewall, so they're now actually actively going against people who are gay and lesbian and bi. You couldn't make it up. Couldn't make it up. And the Charity Commission seems to be sat there eating donuts. They haven't got the power, truth be told. Give them the power, government. Let's unleash somebody on these people. That's what I want. I tell you what, give me some money, give me a couple of million, I'll get it started, right? What are we going to call it? We'll call it the Matthew Hopkins Group Against Wokeness. What about that? Matthew Hopkins Group Against Wokeness? No? You don't like that? How about the, what else could it be? Who was that chap in the 50s? Who was him? Right. What about the Hopkins-McCarthy Partnership? Just give me some money. I'll do it. I've got half a dozen people who quite happily come along and do it with me. That's what we'll do. And then we highlight who these people are. We go into the organisations, we identify the woke, and we take them out. We'll do it on a one day. So we can have like a perp walk, right? So on this day I go in and I go, right, here's 70 names. Would everybody with these names please move to the front? Thank you very much. Right, now line up alphabetically. There's a photographer who's going to take your photograph when you walk out the door so that the world knows what you are. Thank you for joining the EHRC for the period that you did. You've caused us unbelievable damage. Goodbye. What music should they play while they're doing that? It's all over now? I'd rather get a march and we could play Lily the Pink. Oh, drink the drink the drink to Lily the Pink. Off you go, you bunch of loons. The review could leave the HRC stripped of its so-called A status. Just another bigger Stonewall, isn't it? Which means it would no longer have a place at the table of the UN Human Rights Council and other UN bodies. That's all right, we can find our own table. We'll find our own table and open it up to everybody else and let's see how long their table lasts. You know, it happens, doesn't it? If you go to one of the, like a corporate do, and everybody wants to be with, like, you know, the boss and you sit around with the boss and the managers and you're eating your dinner, delicately talking about Christmas and turkey, and by the time everybody's had a couple of bottles of wine, you're looking at them and thinking, oh, these are boring fuckers. Where's the interesting table? And off you go to find the interesting table. We're the interesting table. Make your own table. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Right over here now, you ain't. No, they're done. You want to be? Come and be in our gang. It is the latest row to involve the UK and UN after the International Body's Commission for Refugees said the government's plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda did not comply with its obligation under international law. Now, the ability of the UK to take part in UN discussions on human rights is under threat from review by the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions, or GANRI. Sounds like something Godzilla would fight. Godzilla versus GANRI. GANRI is an independent body whose accreditation grants access to the UN. It's another Stonewall. It's Athena Swan. It's the race charter. It's all that crap, isn't it? The inquiry was launched after the EHRC gave advice to ministers that suggested that changing the law to define sex as biological sex would bring clarity to contentious issues, such as the provision of single-sex spaces. Baroness Faulkner Margraven, the Watchdog chairman, has revealed. Writing in the Telegraph, Lady Faulkner said that she was disappointed that the EHRC was being investigated following targeted action by a group of campaign organisations, but despite the review, she said that the organisation would continue to consider the balance of rights and would not allow its decision to be swayed by those that shout the loudest, right? Faulkner's a fighter, we know this because we've seen it in action, right? But we can't keep doing this, right? It's time. We repeal the GRA, we remove it from the Human Rights Act, we take back our sovereignty in terms of making our laws, we leave the UN, we leave the WHO, let's start our own and see if we can get other people to join us. We've already got the Commonwealth, use that. Right, so it's time to say goodbye to old friends. And then perhaps when they leave we can, play We'll Meet Again. Yeah, by Vera Lynn. Yeah? Or what about So Long, Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, Goodbye from Sound of Music? Don't start me off. We've stood alone before we can do it again. They're all caught up in this critical social justice gender nonsense. We've got to stop farting about. Repeal the GRA. That's it. Repeal the GRA. Get it out of the Equality Act, and move forward. Understanding what the difference is between being a gay man, for example, or a gay woman, or a bisexual man or woman, and a mental illness that's completely infested with nonsense, like critical social justice, anti-racism, all that stuff, yeah. That's what I think. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments and come and be a warrior teacher. I'll see you later, all right? You've heard. See you later.